Introduction to the Moodle I've set up here on my own server. Hopefully you can get this installed to your web team, but if not, you're welcome to use this as I said in the email. So I've just put together a little presentation here just to give you a quick rundown so you can go in and see whether this is any good or not. Okay, so this is the Moodle as it is. I haven't logged in. I just wanted to show you that you can see that there isn't really anything on here. You can basically just see the title page and that's it, but you can't actually access anything. So assuming you're a student, you can log in and then that way you should be able to see the courses that you're able to do. Okay, so the course that's set up here is the test course, which I've enrolled myself in. The admin enrolled it in for you. You can't actually just click on a course and enroll automatically. You have to get set up by an admin, so that's good news. So basically you can see everything that you can access in here. So the teachers or the admin people can add some news so that all the students can see them. So you can go in, click the news item for example, and you can see that there's a news item and you can put all sorts of information in there for the students. Okay, so you can also set up all these by date. This is pretty much just the base outline section, so you could simply just put the course outline, summaries, maybe glossaries and an introduction or something. But what you can actually do is add more dates here, so things that need to be completed each and every week. So you might have these things, you might have a test here and a download file here, and then from the 8th of May onwards you might have another one there, and then boxes going down for each week, if you want to structure it like that. Otherwise you could structure the whole thing just like I sort of have here, just as a demo here. So there's a chat room where you can go in and chat live. It's probably not really going to work because I'm the only one online, but you can go in here, have a look, and you've got your little profile there on the right, and you can type a message to whoever else is online. So because there's no one else online, I'm just talking to myself, but in theory you could have a live discussion with as many students as you wanted to. For example, you might want to set up a if you're going to say do a tutorial discussion like you would at uni, you could say create an event and tell all students to log on if they can at a certain time and do the discussion in here, and then you could also moderate that if you wanted to. So that's the chat room. You can put files up here, so I've just put this demo file up here. You might be maybe a course curriculum or something like that you might put up, and just takes a little bit to download, but otherwise anyone enrolled in the course can access it. You can also change the rules about what people can and can't do with the file. So not everyone can see it and not everyone can download it. And for example, you've got this file up here, and you probably wouldn't have a file this big, but you could certainly set up a couple of PDFs and upload them and things like that, and people can't download it either, so it just all stays up here, which is good. So you can put all sorts of files, and you don't have to have the files up here. Basically whatever's here you can have in this week and that week and that week and so on as well. There's also a wiki which I haven't really filled much with, but I know about wiki software, so it's kind of like Wikipedia. There just isn't anything in here, but you can kind of go in and, for example, you'd have a wiki page with a whole bunch of links, and just like Wikipedia but within the Moodle frame. So for example, you could click links to different pages, find out about stuff and kind of search for subjects. So it could be handy if people wanted to put one in there. You can put a link in, so for example I've just put a video link in, just goes straight here, and people can watch a video and then maybe come back for a discussion. Alternately, you could just put the link in, say, here, the discussion, and then that way people could then do a discussion on. So you could say, just put a link to the video here, it opens in a new window, and then you could say, you could all discuss the video, and obviously the teacher could monitor it if need be, and yeah, so quite useful. I've done a bit of a sample test here, which you can set up. I'll show you how to do that. So, for example, you can actually grade people. You can select in the background how many points each question is worth and what they add up to, sort of to 100 and whatnot. So this is just, for example, a multiple choice one, and yeah, so you can just go in and do that, and then your grades will be visited. You can also select the dates. So tests, you can't do a test until a certain date, and they have cut-off dates and sort of things like that. So yeah, just a bit of a brief example of some of the things you can do on Moodle. So I'm not sure. There's a few other little modules I haven't quite had a fiddle with, but I mean, I think that would compromise the bulk of what you'd need to put up. You can also just put up plain sort of pages, which would basically just be text on the screen, kind of a little bit like this, where you can just put up assignments and information. So it's quite a resourceful site. So for example, if you had a course on fair trade, for example, you might say tariffs, and so for example, if people wanted to know what a tariff was, you could either search or click the T, and we could put up. Obviously, I haven't added anything to this, but if you're an administrator or whatnot, you can add the entry and put the glossary in. So that's the basic of the test course. Students can also go in and play with their profile. I haven't really done much of a profile with this account, but you can edit it as you want to. Down here, add a photo, put up your email, and you can also select things like when you get email alerts, for example. You can put in a little bit about yourself, and your action partners might want to write about their projects in here. And there's also a links section, so you can put all your contact information if you'd like to. And anyone can sort of go in and have a look at that. I'll just see if I can, for example, there's a way to do it. You can have a look at who else is in the course, but it might not be available to just students because you need to be an admin for some things. But okay, for example, so you speak to, you can have a look at all the students here, and say you need to contact the teacher or the someone you've met and you want to talk about something more, then you can go in, have a look at their profile if you want to, and send a message and say hello and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of the basic. That's just this test student account, so you can kind of just go in and have a look at what they can and can't do. Obviously the settings side, all they can do is fiddle with their own profile and their own courses. And for example, you can see all the courses. I'm not sure if I've enrolled myself in this one yet, but so it might just come up blank, but you get the idea. Yeah, so for example, if you try to log in to a course which the admin hasn't set you up in, you can't do anything. So that's good news, and that way people can just sort of be involved in here. So when you go to the main page, you can see just which courses you're enrolled with, which of course is just a test course, and things like that. So yeah, that's kind of the basic. You can go in and participate and view your grades and all of that, and yeah, so pretty good. So I'm going to stop this video and then show you a little bit about the back end from a point of someone who's set up to be an administrator.